the first year that I was a teacher here at the school, we got lots of questions about why Black History Month was so important and why I was so passionate. And I remember them asking me the question, how do you know if a person was black or white on a black and white television? And I was just flabbergasted that they would ask that. And then I was asked if I owned slaves when I was younger. And so I decided that maybe I needed to do a little bit of Black History Month awareness.
The African American I chose to do my research on is Jackie Robinson. He was born January 31st, 1919 and died October 24th, 1972. He was born in Georgia and died in Hawaii. From 1942 to 1944, he served as a second lieutenant for the U.S. Army. He was the first black baseball player. He broke the baseball color line and he played for the Dodgers. And one of his famous quotes that caught my eye is, "I'm not concerned with your likings or dislikings of me. All I ask is you respect me as a human."
Janet Jackson is a black musician. She was the sister of Michael Jackson. She is 46 and she was born on May 16, 1966. She has been in movies like For Color Girls and songs like All For You Again and Feedback. She is living this day and she is my hero.
Twyla, what was the project that the students were working on for us?
Well, students were asked to select an African American, to do a research and how that person impacted history, and if there were any obstacles that they had to overcome, so why they were such an important African American. To prepare a format so that they would be able to be videotaped and to share what they had learned.
Did they get to pick their own person?
They picked their own person, yes. They were able to pick any of the information that they thought was important. So I really wanted to be hands-off and let them decide what was important and the impact that it would have.
My African American person is Adrian Peterson. He played for the Minnesota Vikings and he used to play for OU. He tore his ACL, but he came back and got 2,097 yards on the following year. He almost broke the record, almost by 9 yards.
My Black History Month person is the First Lady, also known as Michelle Obama. She was born on January 17, 1964. She married President Barack Obama on October 3, 1992. Michelle once quoted, "For the first time in my adult life, I am really proud of my country, and not just because my husband has done well, but because I think people are hungry for a change. And I have been desperate to see our country moving in that direction."
So Twyla, what can you tell me about this quilt?
This is a quilt that my best friend quilted for me, and it is some of the codes for the Underground Railroad that they would show for different slaves. And the first one up here in the corner is for Jacob's Ladder, really representing the Underground Railroad, and depending upon the angle would tell them which direction that they would go. The second one is called the Monkey's Wrench. Monkey wrenches were referred to the blacksmiths on the plantation, and blacksmiths were important because they would be loaned out to different plantations, and so they really knew the lay of the land and how to go, which directions to go for freedom.
Creta Scott King. She was born April 27, 1927 and she died January 3, 2006. She had 4 kids and married Martin Luther King Jr. She was part of the Montgomery bus boycott and the Civil Rights Act. After her husband died, she founded the Nonviolent Social Change in Atlanta, Georgia. One of her famous quotes is, "Ain't gonna let no one turn me around. Gonna keep on walking, keep on talking, walking up to freedom land."
The famous African American I have chosen is Will Smith. Born September 25, 1968. He was a rapper. He also played in TV shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Now he's an actor. His son plays in Karate Kid. His famous quote is, "The first step is you have to say that you can."
This is just a sample of all the different codes, and normally you would just have one quilt with one code on there, and they would kind of be out airing, and this would be how they would give messages to slaves who were trying to escape. So this is a sample of all the different quilts.
The African American I'm doing is Ruby Bridges. Ruby Bridges was one of the first African Americans to go to a segregated school. Just think how it would be like to go to an all-white school and be the only black person there and have the military escort you in.
She was only 6 years old whenever she went to school. The school she went to was William Franz Elementary School in New Orleans. She was born on September 8th, 1954 in Tylertown, Mississippi.
My Black History Month person is Morgan Freeman. He was born on June 1st, 1937 in Memphis, Tennessee. He joined the Air Force and became a fighter pilot and is now one of Hollywood's biggest stars. He was the youngest out of 5, and his parents moved away and left him with his grandma. He would do small jobs for money to watch plays and movies. He played a prank on a girl, and his punishment was to do a play. And 1967 was his big hit, and it's also when he married his lovely wife, Jeanette Adair Bradshaw.